Yo, hello internet. Alright, I don't even know if I have the right to be here because the doors are closed, but I am here. Alright, welcome to the tiny and bumpy Tinsawai road course. I'm going to test my modified GT chassis that I ran before as the long wheelbase Formula E, and I'm getting rid of my TRF 102, so I had no more donor for my 7 body, and I thought the 7 should not be in the first place on F1 size wheels, so it is going to be on touring size wheels, which is going to be way better. And I have shortened the wheelbase from 280 to 257, so it's basically now regular touring territory. I have to make a bit more tow, put the battery, put some traction juice, and we'll be good to go. So first of all, let's put the traction juice because that's what takes the longest to dry, and then I'll modify the rest as I go along. I'm still running the tri dampers here. Last time I was running it with the Formula, it didn't run well. It was very bumpy, but I do not know if it was the setup that I had, the track or the tires. It was just not right. The grip was terrible at the rear, but I was riding on a different set of tires. These are the Rides 36E, which did really well on the touring car, so I think they should do okay on this one. The other was the, I forgot the name, QC or QA or something. Anyhow, Rides so far are what runs best on this track, whether it be for the touring car or for the F1. I'm running a lot of offsets in the front as well, so the tires might pop out while I'm driving. I don't know. We shall see. And yeah, what have I changed in the chassis? You can see there is a large gaping hole here because I would like the chassis to have a bit more flex. So this is all my little prototyping that I did on the cars today. You can still see the marker lines everywhere. I'm still running the diffuser at the back, very large size spur, and yeah, so I'm gonna fix the toe. I'm gonna increase the toe a little bit. I'm gonna wait for the tire traction to dry, and then we're gonna go and test it out. Alright, fix the toe a little bit. I don't have the proper linkage in the front, so it is off-centered, but I just don't have the parts right now, so that will do for now. The other thing as well that I have yet to know if I'm going to keep running or not are the front springs, because of the GT front wheel. The hubs are larger, not the hubs, but the carriers are larger, the axles are larger in the front, the height of the plastic piece here, so I can't run a normal size spring. So I'm running my half size springs that I have for my mini pan car 128, so they are very light. The springing is very light and the travel is very short, so that might contribute a lot to the problem, but that's what I have for the moment, so that's what I can run. I need to put the battery stops on top, although I think the battery is going to be pretty solid here, but maybe just in case, I have fixed the toe. The tires are not ready yet, they are not dry yet, but I'm a little bit impatient, so I might just go, which would be stupid, but I am known to do stupid things like going on the track while it's closed, for example. Alright, so give me a few more minutes to dry it out, and talking about the car of course, and then we'll go. Right, impatient me. I have maybe 5 minutes of tire tractions on the wheels, but I want to go. So here you go. I think it's a pretty good fit for the 7, this chassis actually. Alright, let's see how things go with the car. The door is now open over there, so I guess I'm officially allowed to be here. Alright. Don't know how the setup is gonna work out, but we should go. I'm gonna have to center the servo as well. Currently, this is the setup of my Formula E. Alright, I'm gonna do a little warm-up lap. Alright, traction juice is wearing out. Let's straighten up the car. Alright, I have a very bad traction at the moment, so let's warm up a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna be conservative. It's still very slippery, I can tell. There's a lot of understeer entering the corner. That's probably because the front end is gonna bottom out very fast with a very short travel. I think I have probably like 3mm travel at most, but this is not under load. Under load, the springs are pretty much already out of rest. Alright, let's warm up the wheels and go. I can hear some scraping. It is probably the front, I would say. Okay, this track is really not pen car friendly, especially where I've just been. It's super bumpy over there and it's on the braking at the end of the straight, so you gotta beware. It doesn't really feel anything when you're on the independent suspension touring cars, but on the pen car it's really unforgiving. The travel of the suspension is much lower and the ride height is lower as well. So anyway, this is okay so far, I have to say. It's getting warm. Okay, I have a little bit of twitch on braking at the end of the straight over there, so I have to be a little bit careful. But okay, I think those tires are doing the trick as well compared to the one I was running on the Formula E before. I gotta put LEDs in this car. I really have to. Whoa. Okay, so the rear end is very playful if I want to. I'm gonna have to be careful with that. So I am running a 17.5 censored Chippy Leopard system with a 60 MPSC, a 4000 milliamp hour battery. Oh yeah, it is very oversteering. Alright, so hold on. Yeah. Let me see what's up with the rear fender. It seems to be a little bit out of whack. No, not really. Alright, this in my brain. Those are super light. The rear end is like 0.5 mil. Let's stay down here for a while. Starts to go a little bit full throttle. The car is very tail happy, but it's very manageable at the same time. Alright, I'm sold. I think it might be a good idea to add a gyro to this, just to be able to enjoy the tail end going off a little bit, even though that's really manageable with the throttle as it is, but just to have a little bit more corner exit speed. Actually, all I have to do is just punch the brake and the rear end just goes. Let me see how the setup is on the car as well. That's my end point. Okay, forward I'm only 80% speed, which is more than I need at the moment, so I don't think I'm gonna be willing to go more than that. But lower my turning just a tad, lower my braking. Do I have ABS on? It is active. Okay, so let's bring the duty to high and maybe add a little bit of exponential, negative exponential on the throttle. First of all, this thing looks bomb. I don't think that's the term, but I don't care. Okay, that's better for the braking already. So my front end might be okay, as it is. There is no dampening, so you can see the front is quite jumpy. The way I'm running my pan cars as well, I mean at least the F1s, this one included, and Classic as well, is I don't run the battery at the back, I run the battery in the middle, and I have the ESC at the rear near the pod. So my weight distribution is kind of unusual. Usually people are running the batteries all the way at the back, and then the ESC is either in the front or on the side, depending on if they're running shorty or full-size batteries. So I don't have the same amount of weight at the rear. I don't have the same amount of level of traction, but it just fits the way I like driving the car. I don't know, that's just a personal thing. But definitely light buckets at the rear and LEDs in the front. That's the next step for this thing, because I kind of have to redo the rear end anyway, because I molded the rear end using a 0.5mm sheet at the time, because that's all I had, and it's really flimsy. So I'm gonna reform it with 1mm thick. Whoa. It is extremely playful. So I don't think that's the tires. But at the same time, I mean, this is touring size narrow tires on a GT chassis, so GT pan chassis. Alright, my camera is telling me that I'm running out of batteries, so I think that's going to be it for that little run on the camera, and then once I'm back home I'll make a little review on the workbench of what's happened this morning with the car. Alright, see you in a while. Yo, hello internet. Alright, I am back from the track where I did testing on my updated GT chassis, pan car chassis fitted with the 7. So as I explained, I'm getting rid of my TRF 102 F1 chassis, which I originally made this body for. Of course, F1s are the same wheelbase generally as touring cars or GT cars, so this was made for it, for a 256. And so I decided to reuse the chassis that I designed for my Formula E, which is a GT pan car chassis, two-wheel drive, but using touring car size tires and touring car size X as well, the 12mm X all around. So that chassis for the Formula 1 was my classic F1 chassis, which is the same I'm using for the F1 car as well, and it's a long wheelbase, it's close to 280mm. So I had to do some modifications to fit it, and let's see what those are. I've shown it a little bit before, but this is after my battery pack ride at the track. And so what I have to say is the tail end is still quite happy. I have removed the spring from the central damper. I think I'm going to play around with the oil. It's better with the damper than with the damper and spring in the middle. There is no spring on the side dampers here. But the rear end is quite happy. Of course, there is something not to be dismissed here, is that body has zero downforce whatsoever at the back. There's no wing. It's quite heavy. I mean, compared to a regular body, it's fairly heavy. The cage itself, the rear end, it's molded in 0.5, So it is fairly light at the back. Whoa, red light went off. All right, no more spooky atmosphere. The front is in 1 mil all around, but the cage itself it's pretty heavy. It's one big chunk of plastic with the headrest and so on. And there is of course the exhaust on the side, which are as well hard plastic. So it's heavy. There is zero aero effect whatsoever. Maybe there is act as a lift in the front more than anything. The front is like a brake. The rear has no wing. I might play around, maybe put a slight piece of transparent Lexan here just to see if it makes a difference at the back. But in the meantime, if I try to stay like kind of a scale drive going together with the more realistic look, oversteering on a 7 I don't think is strange. But I mean, I would prefer to be able to go just a little bit crazier on the throttle than right now, where I have to be really conservative and really careful the way I drive. Because I know those tires are great, because I've been using them on the touring cars. I might switch around with the one I'm using on my front wheel drive to see, but except for being different brands, they're all 36E, so I don't expect anything really different. I might play around with the foam tires that I have. Anyway, that's one thing. I'm going to try to put a gyro as well inside. I'm going to play with the center damper oil, maybe something a little bit thicker. Without it, it's better in the cornering, but on the straight line, on the track that you saw before, when it's really bumpy, on the end, when you need to brake, then it becomes really dodgy, because the car will tend to just hop around, and that's when you can just spin and get hit by crazy touring cars. So I'm gonna keep the damper here, even though that lowers a little bit my cornering speed, but I might be able to modify or update that cornering speed maybe with a gyro. We'll see about that. That servo, by the way, is not even attached with anything. I just realized, because the little ears here are gone from the servo, because they used to be taped to my car. So, oh, it is double-sided tape to the bottom here. All right, super safe double-sided tape servo. Other than that, I don't really know how much cutting the bottom here changed to the flexibility of the car. And because there's so many changes that have happened at the same time, changing the wheelbase, moving the front end a little bit backward. You see I've moved that much from before. It's only held by 3 points now, so the back is pretty much able to spring a little bit as well, or flex should I say. Hopefully that adds at least to the lightness of the car, and maybe it has to the flexibility. I've noticed as well that I had reverse on the ESC, which is insane. I never run reverse, and so that might explain why sometimes the rear end would just take off, because I tend to brake like that, and I might be activating the reverse instead of the brake, because I'm used to have no reverse, and so instead of braking in one go, I brake. I basically do my own finger ABS. So that might be a reason why the car spins around. So I'll bring it back again tomorrow with the changes to see. But I'm pretty happy with the way it goes at the moment. I'm running very small amount of thread in the front, because I have super offset X over there from a little Tamiya monster truck, because I want the wheel in front to be as wide as possible. So I thought I was gonna have runaway wheels, but I didn't, so that's a good thing. And well, other than that, I think I'm gonna set up the ESC. I'm not running any bumper in the front at all, so it's basically the body and that, and I've hit a metal wall today, so you can see the little chunk of fiberglass that's gone out already. So, and I need to put thread locks on that, because this is spinning free. So this is open wheel to the fullest. There is no front spoiler like on an F1 or anything, so we'll see the durability once I bring it to the track and there's a lot of people and I start flying around. and people start flying on me as well. So we shall see, but I think I should be able to do a bit more aero work. I'm thinking right now, looking at the side here, that maybe doing some side diffusers, 3D printed side diffusers like I have on my version 2 pen car could help a little bit keeping the sides down. I'm not sure. And I might do something similar in the front here, because I have quite a lot of space and it would be cool to fill up the space between that and the body. Maybe stick a little bit of foam in the front or something. It won't help for crashing here, but there is a space to be utilized, and I'm not super pleased by using 3 brass poles over there. It might be better to have just one solid piece all the way underneath here, because those are just basically spacers to mount the front hand. So maybe having a solid piece in the front and then some kind of crash feeder, something that can break, or maybe some diffuser. I don't know. We shall see. I'll see how much space I have here. But that's pretty much it for my GT chassis. I don't think I'm gonna run the long wheelbase Formula E anymore. I might run it in a regular wheelbase. Now I just have to update the back of the body that I modified to bring it back to the regular wheelbase. But I don't know. I loved the body when it came out for the Formula E. I'm not into it that much anymore. So we shall see how the wind blows. So here you go. That's the little update on my pen car and my Lotus 7. This there is the running video. This is at the end of the running video as well. If you just want to see the car quickly as it is, then this video is here. Later on, I really want to run LEDs. There is buckets in the front here to run them. I have the space for a 5mm LED, and I have the opening here, and at the back I might do something. Maybe put LEDs here, I shall see, but at least LEDs in the front would be cool. Alright, so on that note, this is where I'm at with my 7 1/10 scale, and will be probably more running videos tomorrow once I updated everything and then go back to the track in the morning. Alright, so everybody stay safe and sane, and I will see you again soon. Bye. Bye.